right, welcome back, everybody, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to the new books coming out on New Comic Book Day, Wednesday, this being November 29th, 2023. These are some of the books that are pre-selling for a bit of a premium, some things I'm personally looking forward to related to some covers, interlocking covers, homage covers, later prints, etc. Just kind of a quick rundown of all the new stuff that's coming out this week. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. Yes, we hit 3,000 subscribers, but we are not stopping there. We are moving on to 4K next. But as soon as I get back from Disney, we'll be doing a round of giveaways in the month of December to celebrate hitting that minor milestone. So make sure you keep your eyes on the channel because any of the boys here could be giving away something at any time. So if you like free stuff, just keep your eyes on all of the shows here on Rennavision. And with that said, it's kind of a light week this week. There's not a whole heck of a lot coming out that's exciting, but we're still going to look ahead anyway because, hey, it is what we got. It's what we got for this week. So if you want to see what we do have, just hang out for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so as I said, there's not a ton going on. There's not like some one big book, I think. I think that's more the point. There's not one big book for you guys to keep an eye on when you go hit those shops. It's a few potentials, but nothing's really, distancing themselves from the pack just yet. With that in mind, let's look at some of the things that are kind of hitting this week that are kind of the buzz books. These are things I've been hearing about, some storylines heating up, etc. Starting off with Knight's End. By now, you guys probably know Moon Knight's going to die. Mark Spector, at least, and he's going to get replaced with someone new in Vengeance of Moon Knight starting in January. But until then, they are wrapping up the last days of Mark Spector here in the current Moon Knight run. This is issue 29. This is the penultimate issue. Issue 30 will be the finale, and then we will get our new Moon Knight. This being comics, Mark Spector will most likely be back in a little bit. But for now, this is a little bit of an event, and things have been building towards this for quite some time. I'm enjoying all of the Last Days of Moon Knight covers. Like Marvel was doing a lot of variants for those this past month or so. And they've been very well done. If you've looked at many of them, the art on them is just fantastic. And again, they're scattered across all the issues out there for Marvel for the most part. So with that said, this is the cover A. Let's take a look at some of the others. The Last Days of Moon Knight does have the B cover here, even on Moon Knight. That's pretty cool. I think it's In Hyuk Lee. And then there is a 1 in 25 as well. Nothing really to speak of as far as pre-sales go. So if you're interested in the incentive, feel free to go look for it. Again, I'm just telling you, ratio or less. I wouldn't invest in a lot of these things because most of this stuff, the variants, it doesn't matter. Most of them just die on the vine. To be honest, like even the ones that get hot out of the gate for the first week, they eventually dwindle off. So just buy stuff that you want for yourself. That's the best advice I could give you. Buy what you like, be happy with what you buy, and just make sure you're comfortable in paying whatever you decide to pay. It's your call. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to give you the information that's in front of me, and then you can make the call for yourself. With that said, another title you might want to check out and read is this one-shot for X-Men Blue Origins. Looks like we got the Uncanny Nightcrawler there, mixing it up with Mystique. We're getting the apparently the origin of Nightcrawler in here, the untold origin. I don't know. We'll see. It looks interesting, and I know a lot of people have been enjoying. I haven't been keeping up, but a lot of people have been enjoying the Uncanny Nightcrawler, or what is it? Is the Uncanny Spider-Man? Whatever you want to call it. That said, this title is intriguing, as well as some of the covers here. This is the cover A. That's pretty awesome. Cover B there, as well. I think that's E.M. Gist. And then they've got a C cover as well with Mystique and Destiny. That's not bad. And there is a Virgin 1 in 50. Not 1 in 100, but a 1 in 50. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you. I know you're not listening to me, but I appreciate the fact that you've dialed back a little bit on some of these incentives, because these 1 in 100 Virgins are just... Ugh. Granted, I would like new cover art on the higher ratio incentives, but if you're going to do it, make it something a little bit more attainable. I'm still leaning more towards a 1 in 25, but 1 in 50, I'll take it over a 1 in 100. That said, we'll see what this one does. So far, there are only a couple pre-sales, both under that 1 in 50 ratio at about $45, as you can see there. Those were early. One sale was back in September. The other one was a pre-buy in October. We're at the end of November here. So with that said, asking prices for this week's releases are asking 100, 130, 160. So while the early pre-sale buyers got it pretty cheap, it looks like the current market is asking for a bit more. Will the market, pay that? We'll see as we get closer to Wednesday, but just want to show you that differential that those early buyers might have gotten it cheap or maybe not. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's no telling. A lot of times, a lot of these incentives don't sell at all. Like I'm looking ahead for Wednesday, and then we get to the CBSI Hot 10 list for Friday, and it's like we got one sale or like no sales on some of these high ratio incentives. So don't let those early buys influence you too much. Just make the call on your own what you want to do. That said, let's move on to another title that people have been enjoying. This Predator versus Wolverine. At first mention, it sounds stupid, but then it is kind of intriguing, right? I mean, and especially with some of these covers. Some of these covers really are pretty good. Like this is just the cover A, and I think it is it's top notch. And then we can get into Portatio has a B cover here, and then I think that's a Kubert over there on the right. Also not bad. And then we do have a 1 in 25. Once again, I like the art. The art is great, and the idea behind it is pretty cool. So I can see why people are buying this. That said, the 1 in 25 is doing a little bit above that ratio. We're looking at $35 sales, a couple of them at least throughout November. There was a $20 sale at the beginning of November for a pre-buy. So, take what you get. Asking prices are right around ratio or a little bit more, right around that $30 to $40 kind of mark. That's what they're asking. Once again, asking doesn't mean that's what it goes for. It's what it actually sells for. So we'll see what happens once copies hit people's hands this Wednesday. But it's one to keep an eye out for because, again, it's just good art. But it being a 1 in 25, that could limit its upside because there is, unfortunately, a 1 in 100 virgin incentive too. I mean, it is what it is. Again, I wish it was a 1 in 50, but it is a 1 in 100. And it is not doing anything above ratio at this point. And in fact, I think it's under ratio. So if you're looking, maybe you can get that at a bit of a discount. But right now, nothing to report as far as pre-sales go on the 1 in 100. Outside the box, outside of Marvel, also looking at Basic Instinct. Much like the American Psycho comic series that kind of caught people off guard, I think, especially with that business card variant, we now have Sumerian giving us a Basic Instinct adaptation. So this is issue 1, Vanessa Del Rey doing this. Some gorgeous covers here. This is the cover A. Cover B is kind of cool with the kind of the negative space there, making like 2 images. Like I really like that one on the left. Also, the one on the right too is pretty well done. Like all of these covers are pretty good. So I wouldn't be surprised if people want to collect all of them, including the incentives, which we do have 2. There is a 1 in 10 that I did pre-order because I got it directly from Sumerian's website because I was like, you know what? We can buy from them. We can buy it directly from the publisher. I'm going to get this. So I think it was like $15, which again, it's above ratio, but I really liked it. That red, it seems striking. So I ordered it just as an FYI. And then there's also a 1 in 50, which kind of does that famous scene, but it looks like she's wearing white pants, but it's kind of hard to tell because it is kind of washed out and kind of fades out. So who knows? But you know the scene we're talking about here with the Newman from Seinfeld. But yeah, so that's on the 1 in 50. Nothing really to report as far as early pre-sales go on either of those, but just something to keep in mind because I know a lot of people might find this interesting. So something to keep an eye on. Also, books to read this week. So my personal reading list, I got a couple things on here on my to-do list. Kind of had to catch up on a few things, but still, top of the pile reads are going to be Conan. Because again, it's a quality series. I finally started to get into it. I'm not all the way caught up, but I'm getting there. Finally dove into it. So pretty good so far. Conan the Barbarian, multiple covers here. Cover A, we got a blank here that you can get sketches done on. Awesome one there over on the right. I mean, all of these covers are pretty good. We got even more. So see here, this is a local comic shop day. Oh no, I'm sorry, didn't get there yet. So going back to the regular cover A, and then a couple more. There's a Liam Sharp there. Up next is in the middle. There will be a Virgin, I think, foil edition for local comic shop day that you could get on that main cover image. I think it might be like $10 though, so it's a little bit more than regular cover. These other 2 are just Virgin versions of those last 2 covers. So again, a lot of cover options, a lot of great cover art, and a lot of options for you. But most of them are, thankfully, at cover price. So you could buy them if you like them, and you're not investing way too much into them. That said, on top of Conan, we are also getting back to something I really do got to catch up on. Something is killing the children, but has been a great story so far. Issue 35. I can't believe we're 35 issues in already. But here we are with issue 35. Plenty of covers here as well from Boom. We got the regular cover A. There is a Virgin version of it. There's also a kind of like a logo thing going on there. And then we got like a FOC reveal. There's also a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 75 that we got to look at. There's a couple other covers that I'm not sharing here because they're going to fit in down the line in some other segments. We got interlocking covers, so we'll get to those a little bit later. But the 1 in 25 is pretty cool with that cover, and then we got the 1 in 75, just a black and white of the FOC one, and then the 1 in 100 is actually pretty solid as well. I kind of dig it, but it being a 1 in 100 incentive, it's too high of a price tag for me. I don't want to be shelling out like $80 for a brand new release book. It's just not something I want to do. And like I said, like $80 is kind of where it's at. It's under ratio. So most of these Something Is Killing the Children variants, especially in this later part of the run, are very easy to find because it is a heavily printed book at this point. It's a very popular title, one that also has plenty of exclusives to go along with it. So a lot of those incentives, there's a bunch of them out there. Unlike those early incentives for Something to Kill the Children. Like there's some really good ones too. If you go back, I know we've covered them before here on like Chasing Ghosts, etc. But there's some really good covers on those early incentive variants from Boom. But the later ones, there's a lot. There's a lot to go around. So just be careful with your wallets and just get what you like and be comfortable with what you pay. That said, we do have another pile of new number ones too. On top of all of that, some of these I also want to read, but new number ones to speak of. Some of them I might not care so much about, but I'm going to share and report on them anyway. First being, I'm really not into the Batman 89 universe that they've got there. I just never really got into it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be picking up Batman 89 Echoes. Some of the covers are pretty cool. Like, I gotta dig this one. I got Scarecrow down in front. It ain't bad. There is also a sketch variant as well, and a B variant too. It looks like it's similar to the Jack Nicholson like Joker. Great, kind of fun. Some incentives to speak of too. We had a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50. Not bad. Not selling for anything above ratio, so I wouldn't go crazy for either of these. But if you're into it, go pick up the titles. New number one. I'm just not sure if I'm going to be down for this. Or Titans Beast World. I probably should check out what this event is because I am a Titans fan. I do like them. And it is an event of sorts, so I should probably check this out. I'm just kind of not like excited for it. I haven't been like waiting for it, but yeah, we'll see. So the epic event for Beast World apparently starts off here with this number one cover price version. There's some other variants here as well to show you. The Bjorn Baron's not bad. Then we got like a faceless Garth there over on the right. And then there is, I don't know what this will look like, because they haven't really shown much as far as promo material, but there will be a lenticular cover. So I'm assuming it'll be a Starro. Maybe the eye will open and close. Lenticular are the ones that like kind of change the image and shift. All I know is lenticular. It's gonna be like $8, so it's gonna cost a couple of bucks more for the gimmick. Don't know what the gimmick will look like, but keep that in mind if you're interested. No incentives that I could find either on that. So there you go. On top of that, another event or crossover storyline, mini event, whatever you want to call it. Gang War is starting off here in Amazing Spider-Man number 1 with Gang War First Strike. Multiple covers here as well. There's a JRJR, and then we got a B, and you got a video game one there, and there's a 1 in 25 as well. So a lot of street level villains and street level fun here. We got Miles, we got Peter Parker. We'll see where this one goes. I don't know, kind of curious where this one's going to go. So new number 1 there. Tying in with the Gang War, we're also getting a one-shot, because they love to do those one-shots. We're getting a Luke Cage one here. Looking a lot like the Netflix Luke Cage on some of these covers. You got him there holding the parking meter on the cover A, and then we got B, C, Ds here as well. It's pretty cool Noto there in the middle, and then they got Stormbreakers as well. No incentives on this one either, just options for you. I think I'm probably going to go for the Noto out of this pile for myself, but we'll see. I don't know. Howard the Duck celebrating his 50th anniversary is getting another number 1 here with celebration. It looks like it's going to be like sort of an anthology story here. I don't know if this is starting a new series yet or this is going to be a one-shot, but we are getting a new Howard the Duck number 1 right here. Multiple covers on this one as well, as we've got B's and we've got C's, we've got Scotty Youngs, and we've got silhouettes that is a silhouette of a 1 in 50 cover from years back. They're just reusing it and making it something else. And if you like the silhouette cover, you can also spend a lot of money because they're making that a 1 in 100 virgin version as well, along with a 1 in 25, if you're into that. So nothing really pre-selling on either of those either. Kind of surprising. I figured these oddball Howard the Duck kind of titles, higher ratios might have be commanding an early premium, but yet, nope, not yet. We'll see. Another new number one from Marvel this week. They are giving us yet another new Spider-Woman series, tying into Gang War as well. So I guess she'll be a part of this story with Spidey and Miles. So Jessica Drew getting a new number one here. Got a nice cover A. Some solid other covers here. The Ikajor. We got a Knights. I told you those Knights End, those Moon Knight, Last Days of Moon Knight covers are pretty good. There's another one right there, and then there's a Bengal that's pretty sweet. I like that one as well. It's gonna be tough to kind of pick which one of these to grab off the shelf because I don't want to buy all of them. It's that's the problem with so many nice covers. You want to buy them all, but then all of a sudden you've got 4 copies of the same book and it costs you $20 for Spider-Woman number 1. And that said, that's not even including what we got to deal with the incentives, because we do have incentives, including, yes, a virgin version of that Ikajor as the 1 in 100. They made the right choice in which one to make the virgin 1 in 100, I think. But there's also a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 as well, if you're into those. Looking at the 1 in 100, the 1 in 25, 1 in 50, nothing really going on with those just yet. Even the 1 in 100 has no sales as of yet as far as pre-sales go, but I did find some asks looking for $150, $230, $250 for that 1 in 100. So a lot of people going fishing for some high prices. We'll see if they get it as the week goes on. Coming out of Image, we're getting a new series, Crave, that appears to be obviously not suitable for everyone, not suitable for work. Crave, it's Maria Levitt. I don't know if I'm saying it right with the double L's there, but well, looks intriguing. We got A cover, we got BCD as well. Once again, doesn't look like it's going to be for everybody. So if you want something on the naughtier side, this might be right up your alley. Might check it out. That said, what I'm curious about, I never got into the comics for this, and there are earlier comics as well. I probably should before they get like rare and hard to find and all that stuff. But one of my favorite video, maybe not my favorite, but one of my favorite video game series is I love to play Assassin's Creed. Every new Assassin's Creed, I gotta play it, and I play it through. Try to do every little stupid thing you could do in the game, every little side mission, side quest, collectible, everything. I run through it. I've already finished Mirage. I'm waiting for DLC stuff, and I'll get back to it again because I spent probably like 3 months on Valhalla doing everything in that game. If you guys played Valhalla, you know how big that one was. I mean, you went to Ireland, you went to France, you were all over the place in that one. But here we go. New comic book coming from Massive for Visionary, Assassin's Creed Visionaries. Kind of curious. Got some nice covers here. We got a nice Altair here on this this version here. This is not the cover A, because the cover A is actually part of a connecting cover that we will get to later. So we do have this variant. We have another one here. It's pretty good. We have that red's pretty sweet. I don't know what's the bird that is. It like a phoenix? Looks almost like a phoenix. I don't know. Looks pretty good. I'm curious. There are incentives here as well. There is a 1 in 10 as well as a 1 in 25. And then that 1 in 25 also has a black and white version that is the 1 in 50. Now, I didn't see anything selling for above ratio on any of those just yet. So I'm not saying this is going to be the next big thing. I'm just personally interested because, like I said, I just got done playing Assassin's Creed Mirage, and it is one of my favorite video game series. So I'm probably going to check this out with one of the covers. I don't know which one yet, but we got more options. I'll show you in a little bit. First up, before we get to those connecting covers that I've kind of been teasing a while, let's get through the later prints. So with the later prints, we have a few. Going back to Sumerian, apparently, I think this is a second print because they're calling it like the second chance. So I'm guessing that's their second print version of American Psycho #1. So if you did miss out, here's your chance. Here's your second chance. So I think this is the second print for American Psycho #1. Dwellings. Remember this book? This book got super hot like right out of the gate before it was even out. There was like second prints and third prints already on order, and 1 in 10 variants that were heating up. And then I don't know what happened. It's still a pretty cool title. You get that whole Harvey kind of vibe with the horror thing. But I think now that Halloween is past, I feel like the interest is kind of pivoted away. People forgotten about it maybe. But issue 2 is getting a second print this week if you are down for that. So keep an eye out for that. But it does have a healthy $9.99 price tag because it is a thick book. It is square bound, oversized, multiple stories in there, kind of anthology thing. So keep that in mind too. You're getting story for your $10, but it is a $10 buy-in. Getting a facsimile for Uncanny X-Men 142. It kind of follows up on a last time out. We just had recently got 141. So now we're getting 142, wrapping up Days of Future Past. So if you didn't get the original Days of Future Past, here's your chance. This one is not showing to have a foil or anything like that. It's just the facsimile cover. So it could be a cheaper option to get this book if you don't already have it. Plus, you get it on new modern paper. I guess that's also a plus. You get it on the nice, cardstock and paper quality that we have here. Even though Marvel's paper quality is not the best, you know what I'm saying. Still better than what we might have gotten back in the day as far as the longevity. I don't know. That said, another facsimile we're getting Beast Boy out of Doom Patrol there. So Doom Patrol 99, get your first Beast Boy on. If you don't have it, I don't have first Beast Boy. I might consider getting this just because, it is his first appearance. Who doesn't like Garth? Maybe Teen Titans Go has me a little bit biased, but outside of that, we're getting another thing I might call a reprint because it technically is reprinting issues 1 and 2, but they're kind of collected into one. So it's not really a one-for-one reprint. It's kind of a collected edition. Weird. You know how they do this sometimes. You get those 1 to 2 issues packed together, or 1 through 3. This one apparently has issues 1 and 2 and a preview for issue 3 in it. So Wonder Woman's new series is getting the reprint treatment there with multiple issues packed into one. So you can catch up. Following up on the last Ronin, yes, they're still doing these re-releases, these later, it's not even later printing, it's like a complete re-release of the series. I don't know if it's black and white all the way through, kind of getting that vibe, but that's coming as well, if you're interested. Homages. We do have a few homages to go through. I think a decent amount this week, and some fun ones. Can't get them all, but Darkwing Duck, so many covers. I wish they didn't do so many covers. If they didn't do so many covers, I'd be more interested. But I do like this one. Just looking at the cape, I caught it right away. I was like, I know that cape. That's some Casada action right there. That's some sweet Azrael, Asbats action. So Batman 500, the die cut cover. And then, you got the armored up Azrael underneath, on that issue from that gimmick issue back in the day. But there you go. Pretty fun putting Darkwing on there. And then Darkwing also doing, man, this one has been done so much lately. How many times are we going to see Avengers 4? But here we go. We got another one. Justice Duck Lives Again. Okay. Avengers 4 again. And if this ain't enough, we're getting Avengers 4 again, this time on the Avengers. On Captain America, actually. So Captain America, part of the 60th anniversary of the Avengers. They're redoing a lot of covers. And we're getting, again, Avengers 4 again. I'm not really a big fan of this one. It's not the greatest, in my opinion. But, hey, they're making it. They're making it. This is actually a 1 in 10. I know I marked it as cover price, but this is a 1 in 10 for Marvel Zombies issue 2. The Black, White, and Blood Zombies issues. These are pretty cool looking. This is obviously Guardians of the Galaxy 1, as you can see here. Pretty well done, but all zombified in that black, white, and red also aesthetic. Pretty cool. Ms. Marvel has been giving us a bunch of these like throughout her run. So here is another classic Ms. Marvel. This is issue 4, and we're getting that classic 1 in 50 cover that is kind of hard to find and out of a lot of people's reach as far as price goes. So you get it redone here. Granted, not nearly as well as the original Joe Quinones, I think. But yeah, not bad. Not too bad. Or wait, after Molina. All right, so it was after Jorge Molina. That's who it was. There we go. But anyway, still pretty good homage. As well as this one, mixing her in with the X-Men because, again, she's now a mutant. And you can tell right away that this is New X-Men 114. So that started that Grant Morrison run, E for Extinction. But you throw Kamala into the mix there. So again, it's all right. It's all right. Local Man's been really giving us the old school Image stuff. So here we go with another one. Local Man number 7 is giving us Youngblood Strike File number 1. I mean, wow. There's one to pull out, right? But there it is. Classic. I think it was Jay Lee back in the day. This is a little bit more exaggerated, Jay Lee. That's what it was, his style kind of back then. But yeah, still kind of fun, right? We're getting more North Valley Grimoires. out of Whatnot. I know Whatnot's making comics, and a lot of these comics have homages. And I just wish they didn't do so many. Some of them are pretty cool, but they're just doing so many. And this is obviously, Wednesday. And I like how they did the title and everything, kind of matching for match. The Whatnot's done like the Netflix. I like it when they do that. I like that attention to detail. So there's a Wednesday if you're into this, as well as a Mission Impossible 2, because that was by far, in my opinion, the worst Mission Impossible movie. Nothing against, I love John Woo. Don't get me wrong, but this movie was just kind of silliness. It kind of took me out of it. Just the weird motorcycle fight at the end. I don't know. Again, the doves. I get it. Again, I'm a big fan. I love The Killer. I love Hard Boiled. I like John Woo. Don't get me wrong, but this was not the best version. Just saying. But you got the comic cover homage there if you want it. And done over and over again, and especially in the last couple of years. Here is another. This is Ninja High School doing it this time. Super Mario 3. Yeah, I mean, it matches. Pretty good. But I just feel like some of these are just being done to death, that it's just losing its kind of cachet to do it anymore. So if you want them, you can go and buy them. But those are the homage covers that kind of caught my eye for this week. And take it for what they are. Maybe not great, but that's a good segue into our next segment.
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
Yes, the WTF section here. So these are things that I just don't know why they made them. And popular this month for me in this category, yes, I do have more of the DC action figure covers, because I know some of you like them, some of you are buying them. I'm still annoyed by this. But here we go. We've got, there's a Batman. Batman on a toy motorcycle. Okay, cool. Another Batman. This time he's throwing some batarangs at us. I don't know, this looks like a toy advertisement. Why am I going to pay for a toy advertisement? They're trying to sell me to buy the toy. Why am I going to pay for this? Anyway, Alan Scott, Green Lantern as well. It's getting his due here as an action figure. I don't know. Like I said, if you like them, go ahead, buy them. It's not for me. It's not for me, which is why they're in the WTF section. But teased them early on. Let's get into the interlocking covers. We only got a couple, but they are interesting. Something is Killing the Children, issue 35. Mentioned it before. Pretty cool. Standoff here. And I say standoff because there's something about this that reminds me of The Stand. Maybe it's the gas station, but I don't know. Something about it reminds me of The Stand. But you got two covers here that go together to make a larger version of this. Both of these are cover price variants, so you can get both. I like it when they're spread out over multiple titles, so I don't have to buy duplicate copies of the same book just to get two covers. But if you don't want to buy two covers, you can also spend for this 1 in 50 version, which I think is a virgin version of this image kind of put together. I don't know if it's a wraparound, if it's sideways or what, but there is a 1 in 50 that has this image on it as well. So if you want it, you can get that one. We don't need to move that one out of there. Up next, I mentioned also the Assassin's Creed. So this is technically, I think, the B cover because it's the one in the middle. And then we do have an A and a C. Boom, all coming together. Three, making a nice big kind of image there. So 3 covers. Got to buy 3 of them, though, to make it. Or I believe there's a gatefold version of this where you get all 3 covers. It's probably like a wraparound and then one fold-out gatefold is my guess. But I think it does have a increased price of like maybe $10 to $12. So, might as well maybe buy the floppies then. Might as well just buy all 3 at that point. But do what you want to do. I'm not sure. I might go for that Altair cover that I started the deck off with for the Assassin's Creed, because I think that might be my favorite of the group. But we'll see. Like I said, I like it. Go to check it out. Artist Spotlight is very light this week. So throughout the month, Mike Deodato has been getting the Spotlight covers from DC. This week, we only got 1. Last week we had 3. The week before we had 1. We only got 1 again. This time, Action Comics. Not a bad soups. Again, I like his style. Underrated. I think Deodato is underrated. So go take a look at these if you are interested. We also have a couple of Happy Holiday covers coming as well. Last week, I think we had 3. This week, we only have 2. But these are, I think, perforated lines cards that you can remove and mail these off as Christmas cards, I guess. But who's going to do that? Not me. especially not if I'm paying like $7 for this thing. But Harley Quinn issue 34, pretty cool art germ cover there. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be interested in this one because it's an art germ and it's classic Harley. Christmas, pretty nice. I would be interested in just a regular cover edition of this, not a Christmas card that's folded over like this, but maybe down the line we'll see that as a regular cover. Green Arrow's also giving us a happy holidays from Oliver and the Canary there. So issue 6 has got this on it as well. Speaking of other covers, as we start to get toward the end here, these are just covers that kind of caught my eye, jumping out at me. Starting off with this King Kong Great War. I think this, I forget who this dude is. Might be a Dan Pinoche. I'm not sure who did this one. It's just an awesome Kong. Like that's just, I know that's a former wrestler saying, but it's what it is, right? I don't know. It's a good cover, in my opinion. Harley, also, Jenny Frison, doing some interesting stuff here. I like it with the gear work and her faces over there. Yeah, if you like Jenny Frison, this is Jenny Frison. So I like it. 1 in 25 on this book is also not bad. Here we go with some early pre-sales. This is issue 34. Once again, early pre-sales right around that ratio mark, 24, $30. Yes, there was one early buy around 60, but I think, you take that for what it's worth. Sometimes people pay a lot early. Asking prices right now, only around 30 to 35. So right around $35. So it is a premium over that 25. We'll see how many of these might sell. It is a solid look. I do like the classic Harley look, and it's not bad. It's not bad. Plus, you got the whole little poison ivy plant that she's holding there. Another fun one here. Again, going back to the Christmas cards. Other options, Green Arrow 6. We got a classic Chris Samney cover here. I dig it. You got Speedy. You got Green Arrow there in the background. I like it. I like this classic look. This is iconic almost. I dig it. So this is the regular cover I like. And then there is also a 1 in 25 that ain't half bad that features Canary. So can't go wrong with a nice Canary cover. And they're not going wrong here with this one on issue 6. I like it. It's not doing too much yet, but there's potential with some early pre-sales getting double. So early sales back in October for $40 to $50. More recently, $25 right around ratio. I can only find one listed right now, and they did want $60. So we'll see what happens with this one. We'll see what happens with this one come Tuesday, since it's a DC book. But I don't know. I kind of like it. A lot of people might not be looking for this because it is on Green Arrow, not on Birds of Prey or anything like that. So could have gotten missed. Just random other covers. We got a pretty cool Swamp Thing here on Batman Beyond, Neo Gothic. Kind of dig that. Pretty solid cover here on Action. I like this one as well. And then I mentioned the Marvel Zombies Black, Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood. Here's the regular cover, cover A. Pretty good Daredevil, kind of like that. Harkening back to the Tombstone and everything. Then we got a Perillo, which is pretty cool here. Cap, zombified Cap, trade dress version, and if you really want to spend it, yes, you are getting your Virgin version of that, 1 in 100. Now, only one pre-sale so far and one listed, but early pre-sale was just over ratio 115. Asking price, however, on the one that's out there, $265. Oof. We'll see. I don't know. It's a bit steep for me, but something to keep an eye on for this week. We'll see. Next up, incentives. We do have a couple of random incentives that kind of caught my eye where we don't have to talk about the regular books because just really the incentive kind of looks intriguing. Starting off with Miles. So we got Miles Morales Spider-Man. I think it's issue 12. The image I got is kind of squared and cut off, but looks like a pretty solid red cover. Looks pretty cool. Prices right now, again, early pre-sale hit $50. I don't really count that. That was back in, it's November. Then we got one that was under 20, and then one for $30, but had 2 other books with it. So still selling a little under ratio with those more recent sales, but there was that one $50 sale. Asking prices are just as inconsistent because you could buy one right there for $15 or 40 to 45. I don't know. You do what you want if you really want this book. I want to see it in person to see how well the red pops. It looks pretty cool on some of these pictures. There's some people who do have it in hand. But I don't know. We'll see. Definitely don't want to pay too much for this, but $14.99 with free shipping. That ain't bad at all for 1 in 25. Maybe I'll buy that before you guys have a chance. I don't know. We'll see. Obi-Wan. Not a fan of these adaptations of the Disney Plus shows, but pretty cool cover here with Vader, 1 in 25 on Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's kind of interesting. Who knows? Sometimes Star Wars books take off out of nowhere. Right now, I found one pre-sale back in October that was only 15 bucks, and I found one listed that's asking $62 right now. I gotta imagine it'll fall somewhere closer to the middle, but we'll see where that line falls once Wednesday hits. One more incentive to talk about. This is the regular cover here for Ms. Marvel, the New Mutant. I think this is the cover A. So this is the original cover. We showed you those homage covers earlier as well. I don't know why it says issue 1 there, because I'm pretty sure this is issue 4, but the picture I found was this one. But there is a 1 in 100, obviously, Marvel 1 in 100 version, virgin version. So there it is. Yeah, no sales on this yet. One asking 200 bucks. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. We've been doing this for over half an hour. I'm getting tired of talking, sitting here by myself. So let's wrap this up with our cheesecake covers for the week, and then I'll let you guys get back to your days. All right. Cheesecake covers. What do we got? DC, Titans Beast World #1. Pretty cool Donna Troy. I don't know. I dig it. I like it. So put it in here. This is an art term, as you can see. Power Girl. Yeah, obviously going to have some Power Girls in here as well, because we got issue 3 of Power Girl coming out. The Gary Frank cover on cover A is not bad too. I didn't put it in here because it didn't really fit the Cheesecake, but it's pretty cool. Like the villain just kind of creeping over. Pretty well done, just saying. Then we do have another variant as well as a 1 in 25. That's a Babs Tarr. I know it's a little exaggerated, but I mean, if you like that style, you like Babs Tarr. If you don't, you don't. I mean, she is one of those divisive kind of artists. I don't like it all. I do like some of it. I do like that one Batgirl from back in the day. This one, I don't know. Face is a little exaggerated, but the Dodson, pretty solid. Can't go wrong with a Terry Dodson. So Terry Dodson on 1 in 50. All of these are available. Nothing is moving above ratio right now. So if you are interested in any of them, you can probably get them at a deal. Go check out your shops. All right, that's it with DC. Random book. I don't even know what this book is, but it's obviously, you can see the cheesecake in it. You know, the whole space thing too. So you got a little call back there. But Tales of the Bizarre, #1. I don't know. Just kind of caught my eye. Just like this. Dynamite. We got a few Dynamite books, obviously. For the cheesecake section, we're going to have Dynamite covered. I'm only giving you one of the 007 books, and that is the Linzer. So we're going to have a few Linzers, because Linzer's hitting us up with some good stuff, particularly this week. But number 6 of that 007 book, this is the regular cover. There is an incentive. I don't know if it's a 1 in 10, 1 in 5, whatever it might be, but there's a virgin version of it. And I think a black and white, it's Dynamite. So there's multiple versions of these covers. Linzer's also given us a pretty solid Jennifer Blood. So if you're into Jennifer Blood, Battle Diary, he got you this one here. I like the bullets, there in the background. There's a couple other covers here worth looking at as well. If you're into Jennifer Blood, pretty cool. We're also getting a Linzer on the Savage Red Sonja issue 2. Pretty good here. Panosian doing this story, inside here. But he also has Panosian also has this cover here, I think, on the left, and then we got a Frank Cho there on the right. Other good options there if you're into Red Sonja covers. I like them. I like all 3 of these personally. Can't buy all 3, but I do like them. Vampirilla. Now, this first one's not cheesecakey, but I wanted to show you this is the first cover A for Vampirilla Dead Flowers #3. This is the Perillo. Yeah, her backside's covered up by the trade dress, but you can let your mind wander, and you also can get those other versions that, if you want to pay for those incentives to get that removed. But there are other options. That's why we have this here. We do have other options for Dead Flowers #3, all pretty good. Is that a hack? I think it's a hack, but pretty good covers here. Pretty good covers. And then, randomly, Barbaric out of Vault. I keep hearing this is a good title to read. I got to go back and catch up on it, but we are getting a one-shot this week, and Jen Bartel is giving us this 1 in 10 incentive, which is selling very, very cheap. I've seen copies listed for like $8, $7 in a few places. It is a Vault book. It's a 1 in 10 for Barbaric. I don't know a lot about it, but like I said, I heard it's a good story, so I kind of want to check it out. But there's also a black and white version of this 1 in 100. Who's going to buy 100 copies of this Barbaric book? I don't know. And probably not many, because there are no pre-sales yet or any listed as of right now. So could be a tough one to find down the line. Who knows? but still pretty cool. I like the color version better, but can't ignore the fact that this is going to be probably a tough one. And then another one that kind of came out of nowhere, I think it's because it was an FOC reveal cover, is the Sozomaika Alice Never After on issue 5 of this series here at Boom. Looking through the keyhole, pretty cool. This is the FOC cover price version, but the 1 in 25 is a virgin version of this one as well. And much like the Barbaric, I think because, again, this wasn't listed or the cover art wasn't shown, no copies were pre-sold or listed just yet. So we'll see what happens come Wednesday on this one. But ones to keep an eye on because it's Sozomaika. People haven't forgotten about her. And it's a pretty good cover. I like it. I know it's on a weird Alice book, but hey, that Adam Hughes Alice book, hit for a little bit. Even the Sinkovich wasn't bad. But with that all said, that's all I got for you this week. That was this week's rundown for the Wednesday watch list. Thank you all for the support. And yeah, as I said, thank you again for helping us get to 3,000 subscribers. Giveaways to be coming soon, and more fun stuff to be coming soon. Well, I do have one more special show dropping for you guys tomorrow. I'm trying something new. Members got to see it last week because I filmed it kind of early. It is my Bringing Back Trade Secrets, which was an old CBSI article about trade paperbacks and collected editions. Kind of came back up in a conversation I was having with Wayseeker, so I thought it was a good idea to bring that article back as well as do a video series on it. So yeah, I'm going to work that into the rotation here and there. So with Hidden Gems and Chasing Ghosts, going to mix in some trade secrets because we shouldn't forget about trade paperbacks and collected editions because there's a lot of fun stuff to be found in there as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Again, that'll drop tomorrow night on the Tuesday night slot. The boys will be covering the tax show without me this week because I will be in Disney. But I'll be back pretty soon. But I won't be on for TAC. And I won't probably make the video for the Hot 10. But I'm going to help them put the list together. And yeah, with all that said, still keep coming back. All the other content will be here. And like I said, I even filmed some of this stuff for you when I was gone. So you guys still get your weekly fix. And again, thank you again for all the support, and I'll see you all later. All right.